and cons of living in Greenville, North Carolina. Is really worth it to move to Greenville, North Carolina?
If you are thinking about moving here, before you pack your bags, let's dive into what it's really like, the good, the bad, and everything in between, so we can really kind of break it down for you.
Here, this is Alan Victoria Pinder, a local real estate agent here in Greenville, North Carolina. We want to give you a taste of living in Greenville, whether you're looking to move here or you are already here and we wanted to know about the community vibes and opportunity in this area. We are here to help you.
Okay, so let's just jump into the pros of Greenville, North Carolina, because this is the best part of it. We actually lived in many different places, and when we realized how much we got in Greenville, we were like, this is it, we're staying. So one of the top reasons, of course, is affordability. Most people come here because if you're living in New York, you're living in Calais, you're living in DC, you're paying millions of dollars for a very small home. $1 million here is going to get you a huge home. And you don't have to buy $1 million to get a home. You can get a brand new home much cheaper than that, and much cheaper than the national levels by far. So we are significantly lower than the national average, as I said. Our budget is much more friendly around here. Housing, utilities, everyday expenses. We have a whole video on cost of living that you can watch if you want to. But basically, you can put a brand new construction around here for $300,000. You can get brand new construction in most other places for $500,000, $600,000, or even $1 million. So you're looking at a much more affordable price.
In range of 300.
In range of 300. And of course, Greenville is an extremely diverse city. So you have everything from professionals to retirees and everything in between.
Exactly. One of the things that I'm really in love with Greenville is the community and culture. Besides that, my wife talked about the housing affordability.
Yeah.
What I like is the vibrant sense of community that we have in Greenville. For example, when we were living in Miami, we were not even connected to our own neighbor. And coming here, looking at the different cultures, different people from different part of the even countries that came here, they're very warm. Even when you walk in the neighborhood, they wave at you, they wanted to help you. And especially we had like before the Halloween, then it's so nice in each community when you go there, that gets a sense of community with the kids and family member. It helps you to connect with people.
And I like that he spoke on his own heart, because I put down events that he should talk about, like the Greenville Art Festival, Pirate Fest. These are so many, just a taste of the local activities I had put on the list, but he decided to talk from his heart, and it was very cute.
Exactly.
So next thing we're going to talk about is education. Education is, of course, key around here. People consider it a college town, but we're so much more than a college town. But ECU is, of course, there, which keeps a nice, vibrant part of the city alive with young energy, with high, and then also for healthcare, we have ECU Health. So we have a huge hospital, and we do not have the population for that hospital, which means we have access to great medical centers.
Exactly. I wanted to mention also the ECU is not just only educational, but also a research facility to bring innovation in this area. And every year they spend millions of dollars on the cancer research, different research that helps us to serve the community. And the next thing that we wanted to talk about is, of course, recreation, the hobby with your family. If you are like to jog, if you like to bike, or you wanted to fish, there are many places like fishing in the Tar River, visiting River Park North, that they have a nature trail that you can go with the loved one and walk and jog there, do kayaking. There are so many ways that you can enjoy Greenville, North Carolina. And of course, we are in 1 hour distance from mountain and beach at the same time. That gives, again, more for you recreation, that you have pleasure.
Another thing to talk about is, of course, economic growth. Greenville is a growing city, so it is. We have the medical centers, we have the education systems, we have tech here, we have small tech, we have big tech, we have a lot of pharmaceutical companies. It's a great place for new residents and having promising environments for future people in the future, because it's a growing area, and that's another fun thing to talk about.
Therefore, as we said, the next thing is really a friendly atmosphere. I already talked about the community.
Yes, he did.
I love this community because people sharing friendliness in the different event, even the local business event, you will see people are so helpful and they wanted to connect with you and they wanted to serve the community.
Another thing to talk about is art and culture. So we have local art galleries, we have theater. It's not like Nowheresville. You have the Greenville Museum of Art, the Magnolia Art Center. They're different, they're unique, they're small, they're not like the MoMA, but it's still really a fun place so we can kind of grow and foster and have kids grow in with loving art too. So let's talk about the cons, but some of these things are some things I love too.
Exactly. Therefore, I wanted to do the cons. First of all, I wanted to talk about weather. And weather actually is one of those that has a paradox because in Greenville we have 4 seasons. And really is not like Florida, it's just hot and cold. And we have a very mild winter. But what it actually sometimes people have question about is the threat of the hurricane, because let's be honest, we are prone to the hurricane, but we are 80 miles in the land. Therefore, that could be one of the things that people might worry us, or they wanted to ask us, what do you think about the hurricane in Greenville, North Carolina? Therefore, this is a question that might pop up, but there are precautions that always been by the town, a safety
I'd rather deal with a hurricane than a tornado by far.
Exactly. Therefore, this is one of the things that we wanted to bring as a cons to living in Greenville, North Carolina.
Another thing to talk about is public transportation. We do not have a major public transportation. We do have some. It is free, which is lovely, but you're going to have to own a car around here. So that is something that people who don't want to drive or can't drive will see as a setback.
Exactly. The next thing that we wanted to do, what it is?
It's jobs. We're not going to lie to you. We're not the major city where there's a bazillion different types of things. We're not a large city, but it's a growing city. So I will say that jobs, make sure that you have a plan for a job before you make any big move.
Exactly. Therefore, as we said, the most, one of the highest basically employers around here, of course, education and healthcare, and then pharmaceutical companies, and also there are tech companies that coming to Greenville, and we wanted to be in touch with you. If you wanted to also dig about more, we can do more research for you if you're coming to this area.
Another thing to talk about is in the con section is traffic. Now, we've lived in major cities where the traffic is so much more, but I will say that we are experiencing growing pains. It's a city that is growing, which means you do have more congestion in certain spots of the city at certain times of the day, and there is road construction, but this isn't. It's nothing, even if I said all that, it's still nothing like when I lived in major cities.
Exactly.
Nothing.
Therefore, in Arlington Boulevard, if you're not local, or the Greenville Boulevard,
or Fire Tower Road.
Or Fire Tower Road. Sometimes, as my wife said, in the rush hours when everybody going from work, they are going to work or coming back from the work, you might have some congestion. But again, respect to the major city like Miami, Denver, other area of the country that are very populated is very small.
Now, again, let's talk about distance from Charlotte and Raleigh. Charlotte's 3.5 hours away. Raleigh's an 80-minute drive. So you will, if you do have to go to the major city for some major reason, you do have to expect a drive to it. We're
Exactly.
we're a small growing city. We do have a lot of things that are accessed here, but if you are telling me you want to go to IKEA, we do not have IKEA in Greenville. I would love IKEA in Greenville, but where are they? They're in Virginia. They're not even in Raleigh. So if you're looking for something, we do have to expect sometimes there will be a drive. But that's just an experience we're going to go for.
And also, if you're looking at the basically airport, we have a small airport called Pete Greenville Airport that at the time of this video, just American Airlines, you can get fly from American Airlines and it goes to the Charlotte, and from Charlotte goes to all of the other hubs in America or out of America. Therefore, this is also one of the things that if you wanted to fly internationally, you can go to the Raleigh, which is, again, my wife said 80 minutes from here. That could be also things that you need to think about it.
Okay, this is going more than I expected. So really quickly, mosquitoes is something else I'm going to mention. Of course, it's the humid area. Mosquitoes and bugs are things that are just something that you're going to have pest control handle. Especially if you own a home, pest control is very easy to handle it, but make sure that we are talking about keeping these bugs away because it's the South. Exactly. And that's just something to discuss.
Exactly. Anything that you wanted to add?
No, if you are coming to move to Greenville, to live in Greenville, North Carolina, there are pros and cons to any place that you might. We found it as a perfect spot because of the community, the affordability, the growing economy, and we love the weather. But if you're more sensitive to humidity, and that's on you. But we gotta make sure that you know these factors to consider. So.
And if you're coming and moving to this area, Greenville, North Carolina, make sure you contact with us. We have all of contact information in the description below. We'd love to help you to move around here, and see you next time. And don't forget to subscribe in our channel.